The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice.
Hey guys, this is a midweek analysis for October 5th of 2022. Okay, we'll start off with the Eurjpy. Alright, this is a weekly chart. Let me run you by the current setup I was looking at. So the last weekly long trade that formed was right here. And the last weekly short trade that formed was right here. So 3 weeks ago, we had lower confirmation of strong short strength right at these areas right here. And so we got this nice fall down to here. However, like I was mentioning on the forecast, there's monthly overarching long strength on this pair. So I much rather take a long entry. And thus I was waiting for lower confirmation of strong long strength so that I could confirm this bias into be long. Or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. Now we did get 4-hour lower confirmation of strong long strength yesterday right at these levels right here. So let me go ahead and show you how I'll be trading this setup. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so on this 4-hour chart, that weekly bias formed roughly around here. And then immediately we had lower confirmation of strong short strength right here. And that's from this trend line. With that breakout, an immediate break back in, average price coming right back down to that pivot low to create strong short strength. And so we got this nice fall all the way down to these levels. However, yesterday we just got lower confirmation of strong long strength. And that's from this trend line, from this pivot to this pivot right here. As you can see, there's a breakout, an immediate break back in, confirming normal short strength. However, price came right back up to that pivot high to create strong long strength, and thus confirming that weekly bias to be long at this point. Okay, and you want to recall, this is a mid-road long entry, for there is overarching long strength on the monthly chart on this pair. So the stop loss will be placed right here and not at lower levels along with that weekly bias. However, that weekly bias's main target is the same at this pivot high right here. And so we already got a nice move up all the way up to these levels. And I did not take this long entry for the stop loss, which is placed right here, is too big for my preference. So ideally at this point, if I could get another pullback all the way down to perhaps the 139.30 to 138.30 levels, I would be willing to take a long entry with a stop loss at this pivot low and its main target right here. Okay, and moreover, as price falls down, I do not want to see any signs of current short strength. For current short strength on the way down can override that weekly long bias. Okay, so I'll keep you guys updated with what happens in this one. Let's go on to the Euro Pound pair. Okay, this is a daily chart. Let me run you by the current setup I was looking at. So the last daily long trade that formed was right here, and the last daily short trade that formed was right here. And if you recall, we had lower confirmation of strong short strength, confirming this daily bias to be short. Or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high right here. And that main target was hit on Monday at this point right here. Okay, so the main target for this daily bias was hit at this point. And so I'll be waiting for another weekly or daily bias to form on this pair in the coming weeks. Okay, but let me just show you this lower confirmation that formed right here one more time. Just for educational purposes, let's go over to the 1-hour chart. Okay, so on this 1-hour chart, that daily bias was stating that price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. And we got that lower confirmation right here from this trend line, from this pivot to this pivot right here. See, there's a breakout, an immediate break back in. However, price came right back down to that pivot low, confirming strong short strength. And although I wanted to pull back and then a short entry for the stop loss will be at this pivot high, we did not get that pullback, and price just went straight to its main target at this point right here. Okay, so let's go on to the Aussie Yen pair. All right, this is a weekly chart. Let me run it by the current setup I was looking at. So the last long trade that formed was right here, and the last short trade that formed was right here. And if you recall on this pair, for the time being, there is overarching monthly long strength on this pair also. So I would much rather have a long weekly bias to form through lower confirmations, which will mean price is likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. Okay, right at this point a couple days ago, we did get confirmation of normal long strength. So let me go ahead and show you what I'll be looking for the lower confirmations. Let's go over to the daily chart. All right, so on this daily chart, try drawing this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here. Now, just 2 days ago, we got a breakout and immediate break back in, confirming normal long strength. Now, if price could fall right back down to this pivot low, as you guys know, that'll create strong short strength. And that'll confirm this weekly bias to be short, or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. However, like I mentioned, since there's overarching long strength on this pair on the monthly chart, I'd much rather have lower confirmation to confirm a long weekly bias. Now, what could possibly happen is when price reaches this pivot low to make strong short strength, I want a V-shaped recovery to form on the lower time frames to confirm extreme long strength, and thus confirming a weekly bias to be long, or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. Okay, and moreover, in this case, if I do get that V-shaped recovery to confirm extreme long strength, this pair also has overarching long strength, and thus this will be a mid-row long entry. So the stop loss will be at the pivot low where that V-shaped recovery formed, while the main target is at the weekly biases, main target right here. And perhaps I'll be extending a portion of my position up to higher levels, for there is overarching long strength on this pair. Okay, so I'll keep you guys updated with this one also. And that's it for the midweek analysis. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, guys. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.